It's just gone lunchtime. This is the third and final hour of All Angles here on ENCA. Good afternoon. I'm Masikane. Now it's that time of the day, of course, where we give you an update on how far many of the stories we've been following for you throughout the course of the day have advanced. So let's get straight to it. We've got our reporters on the ground. Siphamandla Goge is in Johannesburg, Heidi Giokos in Cape Town, and Slindelo Masikane in the city of Tshwane. They've been tracking those developments for us. Now let's start with you, Siphamandla. You were at Luthuli House, where the Secretary General of the ANC reiterated the party's resolved that the party has resolved to possibly declare a national state of disaster to deal with the country's power crisis. What did he say, especially after the fact that Eskom, announced stage 5 and 6 load shedding during that press briefing?
The ANC leadership was embarrassed when they were busy talking about their plan to deal decisively with the energy crisis. Eskom said, hang on, we are implementing stage 5 today, which will progress to stage 6. So they did not know how to respond to that. They were basically embarrassed by that decision by Eskom, because remember, they spent 2 days for their NSA Lekhuta, and the main agenda item on that meeting was the issue of the energy crisis. They resolved that indeed they support the proposals to declare a national state of disaster. They say it will enable the ANC-led government to respond properly to load shedding and the energy crisis in the country. But they do not run Eskom. They can't put time frames in terms of deadlines, because they said their strategic goal is to end load shedding by the end of the year. But Eskom is on record as saying that it will take more than 18 months at least to deal decisively with load shedding. But it would appear that the ANC, a governing party, is panicking here. They are on a panic mode ahead of the elections next year. But take a listen to how Mr. Mbalula, their Secretary General, responded on the proposal to declare a national state of disaster, and also maintaining that it's achievable to eradicate load shedding by the end of the year.
Ota also called for acceleration of the work of the National Energy Crisis Committee by utilizing the state of disaster legislation to bring about a multi-sphere command center to better manage the crisis. Additionally, the current plan requires deepening such that it responds to the immediate challenges and further promote prioritization of maintenance, management and security of Eskom power plants, management of load shedding such that it minimizes the impact on the economy, and the provision of basic services, including water.
All right, Heidi Giokos, you're tracking developments at the impeachment inquiry into suspended public protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, which is continuing today. So today it's hearing testimony from his Zambian counterpart, I believe, Caroline Zulu Sokoni. What has she said so far, Heidi?
Yes, so it's day 2 of the public protector from Zambia speaking about her experience as being a public protector for the past 19 years. This is the third witness that is basically testifying in defense of suspended public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. We do know that she was basically questioned yesterday by the public protector's legal counsel, Dali Mpofu, questioning about the principles and procedures that one follows as a public protector, and whether or not this impeachment process and the Section 194 inquiry is unusual given the standards that normally ombudsman officers follow throughout the African continent, rather. And it seems as though the Zambian public protector has said that this is rather odd. She doesn't really know the processes that are followed in South Africa. She doesn't really understand the law here, but she says, looking at the role that a public protector plays in a democracy, she says she finds this rather odd, especially because of the charges that she is facing, given the many court challenges that the public protector has lost lost throughout the years. She's also indicated that the role and the position of the public protector should be protected at all costs. The question was asked, who should protect the public protector, given that Parliament appoints a public protector, but it's also Parliament now that has instituted this inquiry for her fitness to hold office as a public protector. So a lot of questions have been raised. She is now done being questioned by the Public Protector's Senior Counsel, Dalian Pofu, and the committee will now be questioning her about her experience, her role and understanding of a public protector in Zambia, but also here in South Africa. I want us to listen to the part about legal battles and how that should not be used against the public protector, especially the ones that she has lost. Let's listen in on that.
The fact that the institution of the Ombudsman is only encouraged to make recommendations, it also protects the courts from making conflicted decisions. So it protects the Ombudsman from being placed in a situation of a compromised position, and it also protects the courts. They don't have to go backwards to try to protect anybody just because there is some sort of influence, external influence, to say, no, this such a decision would not be becoming for a member of the executive.
All right, let's take you to the city of Tshwane now, where Slindelo Masikane is. Sleen, nearly 100 of the city's buses aren't operating today due to a lack of fuel. What's the update, especially from authorities, with regards to this?
Well, at this point, we understand that there's a limited service that's being given by the City of Tshwane in terms of the buses. We know that a statement was released yesterday saying that buses would be suspended and that commuters should arrange alternative transport, and that is because there's a shortage of fuel or diesel that's been coming to the Tshwane bus depot. We understand a truck or a tanker is expected today, in fact, to fill up the hundreds of buses really that you see behind me, Masiko. So despite the fact that there is a diesel shortage, the city says that they are expecting a delivery that will be able to continue with the service for the next couple of days. After that, we don't know exactly what's going to happen in terms of commuters being left stranded, because at least some thousands of commuters today alone were left stranded because only a limited amount of buses were able to make their rounds during their shifts this morning. Since around 4:30, we understand around 90 at this point. And of course, there's a blame game going around in terms of who's to blame for the service delivery or lack of service delivery within the city of Tshwane. And from the city officials, they're saying that the issue really came from the payment process to the service provider, which delayed the delivery of fuel. Let's take a listen.
At 4:20 this morning, we started operating about 90 of the 180 buses that we usually operate on daily basis. This shortage won't last that long. We are confident in saying that, given that we are having buses running, as you rightfully indicated too. Not long from now, there is a fuel tanker that has filled in Johannesburg and is destined for this depot. It will deliver fuel which will sustain us for the coming days.
Right, that was your All Angles lunchtime update on ENCA with reporters Slindelo Masikane in Pretoria. Heidi Giokos is in Cape Town for us, and Siphamandla Goge here in Johannesburg.